What's up, everybody? A week ago, we got our last season of Warzone, and so now that we're a week into the season, it's time for my usual top 10 loadouts to be using for this season of Warzone. Except I went a little different this time. Normally, I try to do a bunch of different scenarios of how you'd like to play, what guns different people might want to use. This time, we're going to kind of do more of a Warzone timeline, and you'll see what I mean. It all fits into the current meta, but we're going to go more historical this time. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Alright, so you can see on screen that we have a Modern Warfare, LMG, and AR loadout. Same for Cold War, same for Vanguard. That's what I meant by going kind of historical and through the timeline of Warzone. I have an LMG and an AR loadout for every game, and then I have what I think is the best loadout on top, and then of course I have a heavy and aggressive sniper. But let's go ahead and jump into it. So our comeback now has changed to the UGM-8. The UGM-8 will appear on this list again. And it's, in my opinion, the best comeback gun for reasons we can get back to later. But it's going to be the same long-range automatic build it's been, the MX silencer, the 736mm barrel, strife-angled, hand-stop, carver, whatever feels best for you. 6.5, 125-round box, lengthened. Your choice of optic. The 3-6 and the 4-8 did get a recoil nerf and glint added. So I know some people are using the 3.5 times, which is what I've been using so far, and other people are using the 3.25 custom, just preference. Then stock, weighted stock for the automatic build. Now you can still do the burst build. Of course, you can do the burst barrel, and then you go with either one of these two stocks that you prefer. And then, of course, you would go brace for initial firing recoil. But for the automatic, we're going tight grip here. We have polymer, and the reason we want polymer instead of hatched or grooved, and why we want tight grip over and all the other ones, is the same reason we chose the stock. They all help sustain firing recoil, so that way we stack that sustained benefit. And then fully loaded because it's comeback. Now we're going all the way back to the Psychov, just with different gun changes. The Psychov, really, you could run as your primary secondary, but it's still really good in your comeback loadout. It's the Monolith Expressor, the auto barrel, the lightweight double action trigger, increase your fire rate, 80 round drums, and then fully loaded. If you just want to run it as your normal secondary, drop the fully loaded, go tac laser. And then, of course, perks, lethal, and tactical are always up to you. From there, we go to our heavy sniper. The ZRG is maybe my favorite heavy sniper, but the best overall heavy sniper right now has got to be the 3-line rifle. It's the same build as it has been. Mercury silencer for the increased bullet velocity, or you can go MX silencer. It's a sniper that one-shot headshots all across the map, so you got to decide more. Do you want damage range, or do you want bullet velocity? I think bullet velocity is better on a one-shot headshot sniper. From there, we go with the 820mm barrel. Gives better bullet velocity, and that increases our damage. The 700 is also a good option because it increases neck damage, gives you better bullet velocity, better ADS speed. And the 700 is also a good option for high bullet velocity. And then you could run the 500 for flinch resistance and you get some bullet velocity, but it's not going to be your best bullet velocity. And then you could run the 514 because you get no damage fall off, but we're going for headshots, so damage fall off doesn't even matter. Heavy foregrip for aiming stability. The 20 round mag, which is really what makes it, puts it here instead of the ZRG. Lengthened, and then the 4-8 or the 3-6 times. The stock optic is atrocious, but it's whatever optic you choose. MN custom for the flinch resistance and the recoil control. That or the SO1 that gives you really good flinch resistance as well. Those are the two that I would consider. Silent focus for that aiming stability. You don't want to have to hold your breath, and with the 4-8 I don't believe you can. And then on hand for the quicker ADS. From there we went with the Cooper Carbine, which in my opinion is the best AR sniper support. And it's the same build we had before: recoil booster, Cooper custom, strife angled carver, or hand stop depending on your preference. Slate reflector, 60 round drum, compressed. Of course, the optic's your choice. Then there's a couple different options here. I run the Cooper custom padded because I'm running this as a sniper support and not just an SMG, so I want to be able to use it at some range since I'm using it with a heavy sniper. If you want to run it more like an SMG, go with the remove stock. But because we have the Cooper custom padded, which helps sustained recoil, this is where polymer is going to come in again to help stack on that sustained recoil. But if you're going to run no stock, I would consider polymer, but grooved is also good, as well as hatched And if you're really feeling like there's no recoil on it, taped, of course, build it like an SMG. Then we have tight grip for the stack sustain recoil. If you're going to run the no stock and everything, Fleet's a really good option if you're purely running it as an SMG, and so is Vital because this thing doesn't have a whole lot of recoil. And then on hand is always with Vanguard ARs. And then we have the aggressive sniper. The car is still king of the aggressive snipers. The new EX1 actually headshots at a farther range, but the car is just quicker, has good one-shot headshot range for the light snipers. It's like first or second. And it's the same old build: monolithic suppressor, 27.6-inch barrel, tac laser, sniper scope, and then either precision or sport cone. And then for best SMG sniper support, it might be the well gun now. The well gun's got really good range, no recoil. You could really use any SMG if you're aggressive enough, but if you want to have an aggressive sniper, but you don't want to have to push into someone's face necessarily, this is a really good option. It has really good damage range. It's got one of the best damage ranges of any SMGs, while having good ammo and time to kill. The Type 100 could also have gone here because of its damage range, but it's got 4 less bullets, got a little more recoil. But it's a recoil booster, shrouded barrel, your choice of optic, remove stock, hand stop, strife angled, carver, whatever you prefer, 7.62 40 round, lengthened, tape grip, gung ho, and quick. We've been using this build for a while now. Now we have Modern Warfare LMG. The PKM is what I have under my Modern Warfare LMG. Of course, it's not the fastest killing LMG for Modern Warfare. The Fin does kill faster, but it kills faster because of its fire rate, not because of its damage, and you quickly run out of ammo. Then, of course, you have the Bruin, where it has the 60 round mag, but if you're only going to run 60 rounds, you might as well just run an AR. And so PKM, it's always been in the meta or top tier viable. People have just forgotten about it. And you're going to run that with monolithic suppressor, extended barrel, tac laser, the 3 times. Make sure you put on the T-pose for the VLK 3 times. And then snatch grip. It's the one Modern Warfare instance where you don't use commando, you use snatch, because it helps your recoil control and your ADS speed, whereas commando hurts your movement speed. And then that's your 5 attachments. If you want, you could drop the tac laser for a bigger magazine, but this thing comes with 100 or 125, so I don't think that's necessary. Then the best SMG from Modern Warfare to pair with the PKM is probably going to be the Bison. It's got pretty good damage range. The other option I considered was the P90, but I prefer the Bison over the P90. And it's the same build I've recommended for a while: monolithic suppressor, 8.7-inch steel barrel, or polyagonal. You're going to have to play with both. Polyagonal doesn't give you the recoil control, but it's better ADS speed, but slightly less damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control. So it's kind of up to you, and then the aluminum's just not worth using. Then tac laser, helical mags, of course, to get the 84 rounds. And then either no stock or stippled grip. Stippled grip will give you faster ADS time, but no stock also helps your movement speed. And I don't think there's enough recoil for this SMG to worry about the recoil control loss on no stock. From there, Modern Warfare AR. Now you could put the M13 in here, but the M13 does less damage per mag. It kills slightly faster at range, so they're pretty similar in mid-range and close range. At long range, the M13 is slightly faster, but you're going to use an entire mag, whereas you can probably down 2 people at range with the Kilo if you hit your shots. That's a lot more likely because it has more damage per mag. So it's going to be the same old build: monolithic suppressor, 19.8-inch Prowler barrel, VLK with the T-pose, actually didn't put on, commando foregrip, and 60 round mag. The 50 would give you slightly better ADS, but especially with the 300 health now versus when the Kilo was at its top, you need the extra 10 bullets. And don't be the bot that goes to 100. You have no movement speed, no ADS speed. It's just dog shit slow, so avoid that. And then, of course, the good old Modern Warfare MP5 with its monolithic integral suppressor, its tac laser. If you're not going to ADS at all, obviously go with the 5mm laser for the hipfire accuracy, but I like to be able to ADS, so I like to use the tac laser. Excuse me. Merc foregrip, 45 round mags, and either go F-Tech collapsible stock, or you're going to want to go sleight of hand because you will have ammo problems with that 45 round mag and not super high damage per mag. From there, we're moving on into the next iteration of Warzone. We're going into Cold War. The MG82 is here in the LMG slot. Now, you could put the RPD, you could put the Stoner. Both have a lot less recoil, but the time to kill is significantly slower. So if you can handle the recoil, use the MG82. Otherwise, use the RPD, I would recommend. But either way, it's the same build. because it's Cold War. Agency Suppressor, Task Force Barrel, Field Agent Foregrip, Fast Mag, and Axial Arms. You can run the 125 round mag. You do get 75 stock, so that's good enough. And it reloads so slow, I prefer the Fast Mag, but you can go 125. Or you can deal with the stock reload speed in the 75 round mag and go either Airborne Elastic or Serpent Wrap. And there we have the PPSH. The PPSH has the longest damage drop off of any of the Cold War guns, and it's got a decent time to kill, so you can still win some fights with it. You just might lose to the top meta. But it's the same build I've always recommended: the Grew Suppressor, the Task Force Barrel, Tiger Team Spotlight, Bruiser Grip, 55 round drum. If you want to drop either the Tiger Team or the Bruiser, keep the Bruiser because it gives you that hipfire accuracy, whereas the Tiger Team gives you movement speed and aim walking move speed, but you can recover that aim walking move speed with either the Spetsnaz, which gives you aim walking move speed, and so does the Raider stock, and you won't get that hipfire accuracy back if you drop the Bruiser. Cold War AR, you could put the XM4 in here, you could put the Farrer in here, maybe even the QBZ and the AK. There's a couple different options that can go here, but I think the Vargo is the best. It's definitely the better Vargo. And you're going to run that with the Grew Suppressor, Task Force, Axial Arms 3 times, Spetsnaz Grip, Spetsnaz 60 round mag. Of course, it's the same Cold War build. There has been talks about Spetsnaz Speed Grip because it gives you so much horizontal recoil control. But I still like the Spetsnaz Grip a little bit better, but either one of those grips. And then I have to go with the good old trusty Cold War MP5, where of course we're running no barrel for that cleaner iron sights that you can see there instead of the full circle. It's the same build it's always been: Agency Suppressor, Tiger Team Spotlight, Raider or Combat Stock, Stanag 50 round, and Bruiser Grip. Now we're moving on into Vanguard. We have the Whitley and the LMG because you'll see when we get to best loadout. This is the second best LMG for Vanguard, but I did want to do its own LMG slot for Vanguard. It just happens to conflict with best loadout. And it's the same build I've been recommending: the MX Silencer, the Gracie MK9 barrel, the rifled scope or whatever you prefer, the CGC R4 stock, Mark 6 skeletal. Actually, I prefer strife angled, or Carver or hand stop, just your preference. And then we go with the 303 45 round mags. This is the other third round mag, the 30.6, but you have a lot more. You'll have more recoil and slower fire rate, and so the 303 45 is better. Lengthened fabric. I did not finish doing this actually at all. Needs to be hatched. And then because we don't have a tight grip or a sustained, we're not using a sustained recoil stock. In fact, there isn't one. And so this time we're running hard scope and then on hand. And we have the Blicky. The good old H4 Blixen. It's the same build I've been recommending: recoil booster, 17-inch f3, your choice of optic, remove stock, strife angled, Carver, hand stop, whatever you prefer. The 7.62 54 round mag, lengthened, tape grip, fleet, and quick. Then I personally think the STG has now become the best AR. There's the Cooper. The Cooper's always an option, but it's an ammo thing again. It kills really fast because of its fire rate, but it's got less damage per mag despite having 10 more bullets in the mag. So I just prefer the SCG. I've never really loved the Cooper, as I've talked about before. And I think the SCG is the best overall. But you could put the Cooper here. You could still probably put the KG here. BAR, Automaton. It's kind of preference, but it's really down to the STG and the Cooper, if you ask me, and I prefer the STG. So same build as always: MX Silencer, 760 barrel, your choice of optic, weighted stock, hand stop, Carver, or strife angle to your choice. 7.62 50. You can do the 60. I just don't like the way it feels as much, and it does kill a little bit faster, but the 50 is just still a laser beam. Lengthened, hatch grip, because once again we don't have a tight grip. We're not using a sustained recoil stock. Acrobatic or vital. Vital doesn't super increase your time to kill. I like the movement speed, but either one of those two. And then on hand again. Then we have the Arma, which should have its camouflage. The Arma, same build I've been recommending. The recoil booster, the 550. Some people like the 570. I think it's really between the 550 and the 570. The 570 does reduce body damage, so you have to hit the neck or headshots, or you're going to lose to everybody running the 550. But if you hit your neck or headshots, you're going to probably kill just about every SMG with the 570. The 315 does give you the best overall time to kill, I believe. But it does have a lot more recoil. but it's between the 3 bottom stocks. The 180 short gives you better movement speed, but it doesn't compete in time to kill with the 315, and it has a lot more recoil than the 550 and the 570. So it's really between those 3. 60 round, 9mm 60, lengthened or subsonic. Every Vanguard SMG should either be lengthened or subsonic. Your choice of optic, taped grip, folding stock. Because we chose the best recoil barrel, we can use the folding stock here, which gives you better movement speed than any of the other stocks. But if you're still struggling with recoil, go with the body DA. Hard scope to help with that recoil, or vital, or even sleight of hand is a good option. Even steady, and then quick, of course. And then the best loadout currently is going to be the UGM8. It's the same exact build as we had for our comeback class, except we have on hand instead of fully loaded, but otherwise it's the exact same build. Once again, you can run the burst barrel, one of the 2 middle stocks. I forget which grip. I believe it's stippled. Yeah, stippled grip if you're running the burst, and then of course brace. But I don't like the burst. I like the automatic. The automatic's definitely the best option in my opinion. And then we have that with the PPSH, which is risen to top spot. Mostly because the hipfire is so accurate and so easy to use, I think is why it's in the top spot. We have the recoil booster, the 230mm, which is the hipfire barrel. If you don't like the hipfire, you can run the ZAC 300, but it did just get nerfed, and at that point, I think you'd rather be running the armor or the Blitzen. Carver foregrip, because that does help your hipfire, whereas the strife angled and the hand stop do not. 8mm 71 round mag. It gives you a better fire rate, and it does give you a slightly faster time to kill, but you will need a little more ammo. So the 7.62 is also very good. Either one is your choice. You do get hurt by the movement speed on the 8mm 71, so it's really either one of these 2 mags. That hollow point is actually a good option because you're not worried about damage range, but I do like to ADS with it sometimes, so we're going to stick with lengthened. Pine tar grip is the hipfire grip, and then remove stock is the best hipfire accuracy stock, and it helps your movement and sprint to fire speed. And then fleet, because we don't have a gung-ho, and we're not going to use ADS firing speed because we're hip firing this thing, so same thing with tight grip. And so we're going to go with fleet and then quick, of course. So those are the 10 loadouts I'm recommending. Of course, there's other guns that I mentioned as I went through this that also fit into the meta. Like the UGR SMG is not on here. That's in the meta. You could have put that in the Modern Warfare, either one of the Cold War slots easily, and arguably with any of these. There's a handful of other things. I'll save that for my SMG video, my LMG video my SMG video, my long range video that will be coming out. So keep an eye out for those. But thank you so much for watching. If you stuck through all these loadouts, I really do appreciate it. Even if you just skipped around, I appreciate any watch time at all. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when that long range and those SMG videos come out. I have a couple other ideas possibly, as well as any update videos. And I will link down my Twitch down in the description. So please check that out. I've been streaming almost every day. Instagram and TikTok are down there as well, and I've been posting almost every day on those, and Twitter's down there as well. So go ahead and check those out if you'd like. But I will see you on Caldera, Fortune's Keep, and Rebirth Island. Get frying. Have a good day. Bye.